Welcome back to Good Morning Wilmington. Look, if you're just catching up, something's wrong with your VCR. Oh, did I say VCR? Look, well, anyway, welcome back. I have Sue Weldon here from Unite for Her, an organization that focuses on supporting women with breast cancer and ovarian cancer. How you doing, Sue?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for being here.
Incredible show you have.
Thank you.
Great energy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Unite Her.
Unite for Her.
Unite for Her. Tell us what it's about.
Yeah, so we're a national nonprofit, but we actually have a lot of work focused here in Wilmington.
Okay.
Where we support women and men that are affected by breast or ovarian cancer. And what we do at Unite for Her is we give them access to integrative care, think supportive services, like the mental health that you were talking about.
Oh, wow.
Sexual health counseling, yoga, acupuncture, massage therapy, all things that help them do better on treatment.
Right.
It allows them, we give them $2,000 worth of services. It's called a wellness passport, but it allows them to actually mitigate side effects and symptoms without more drugs and prescriptions by leaning into this integrative, supportive type of care. And we
Right.
fund and deliver all of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's huge for the community, right?
Huge for the community. So right here, even in Wilmington alone, we applied for 2 grants that we did receive. We are so grateful to the Longwood Foundation and the Delaware Community Foundation. And it's allowing us to serve over 300 individuals just in this area alone, in the Delaware area,
Right.
so that they can get access, $2,000 worth of services at any time. And some of those services are really helping them even with food insecurity, because nutrition is such a big component of cancer care.
Right.
And when you have access to whole food nutrition,
Yeah.
you get access to 6 weeks of vegetables sent to your home, $75 gift cards, groceries delivered. We have some basket meal delivery, and then registered dietitians that meet you where you are to help you mitigate those side effects and symptoms. Metallic taste, digestive issues, nausea. There's so much difficulty going through cancer treatment, right? And the GI system is really in a difficult place. But when we come in, we give you the tools that allow you to do better, and we
Right.
fund and deliver that. And sometimes some of the community that we serve, like, we are leaning in and prioritizing our underserved, our undersupported communities, and that is the difference between putting food on the table that week or having transportation to go to their chemotherapy.
That's true.
And that's important for us, that we can get access and be able to treat those individuals at a time when they need us the most.
So no barriers is what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
And because what I'm seeing, that there's a lot of organizations in Delaware, but that have great ideas, but there are barriers in the way that's stopping, and with that $2,000 passport,
You got it.
it helps out a lot.
That's right. And we pay their bills. Literally, they have a list of providers. They choose what they want. They have choice. Do I want to do medical acupuncture? Do I want to get 6 weeks of vegetables sent to my home? Do I want oncology massage to mitigate some of these side effects and symptoms, bone pain, neuropathy, headaches, hot flashes? There's so much there, right? They get to pick and choose their wellness plan because it's important to them.
Right.
Some have issues with sexual health. Some have issues with regular mental wellness, right? What you're talking about, because depression is a thing. Adhering to treatment is a thing. It's hard, especially when the side effects are so debilitating. But study and research has showed that bringing in integrative care, bringing in these services, help them stay on treatment longer, help them do better.
With them picking their wellness plan, how much better is that than you say the organization picking the wellness plan?
Oh, they have choice, right? Like, everybody is different. I am a survivor. This is how all this occurred. I'm 19 years, young woman diagnosed, and it really came from my own experience. And what works for me might not work for you or for you, right? So I may have bone pain, headaches, exhaustion, and I may choose medical acupuncture. You may choose oncology massage. You may choose counseling and nutrition, because the emotional burden of putting food on the table is so debilitating that is also causing physical side effects, right?
Right.
All the outcomes are to reduce the stress, to eliminate, exhaustion, to help manage those side effects and symptoms, but they all approach it differently. And then they can make lifestyle changes because it felt good. It allowed them to see and get control and confidence in a disease they had no control over.
Right.
And that's what the Wellness Passport does. It gives them choice. They have this account with $2,000 worth of services, and that allows them to pick what works for them. Some, especially if they're underserved, they are using that passport for food. They need the food on the table, and that helps them emotionally as well as physically.
Right.
That alone and access to registered dietitians allows them to form a plan that's going to help them adhere to treatment. And that's key. It's a great question. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we hit it, because there's women, and you said men.
For breast cancer, absolutely.
Let's debunk the myth right now.
That. Absolutely.
Can men get breast cancer?
Absolutely, and they do. We have a Unite for Him. We have Unite for Him, for them, for our non-binary community. But yeah, men get, it's low.
Right.
So for example, in the United States, we have about 300,000 that are being diagnosed with breast cancer a year, women. For men, 2,000. So it's low. However, for my young men in my life, my boys, I'm a higher risk, right? They are a higher risk because I had breast cancer at 39.
Wow.
So now all of a sudden, you're looking at your risk factor. You just want to make sure you're checking your body. Just like you check for moles, you're checking for, you talked about prostate cancer, making sure that you're getting checked there. That's important, right? So for men, just know your body. Know if something feels funny, get it checked out. And then it's the same treatment for men as well. There's that stigma, and at Unite for Her, Unite for Him, during the pandemic, we went virtually.
Yes.
That broke down barriers.
Did it? How so?
Absolutely. So whether it was transportation, getting off of work, childcare, because we would go into communities and have a wellness event, 2, 3, 4-hour event. It was hard for some of our members to get off of work, get childcare, transportation. For our men, coming in person with a bunch of women, it's tough.
Yeah.
They just felt like, how am I here? But now they can go online, camera off, right? Listen to the services, understand what they can receive, how they can mitigate those side effects and symptoms, receive their Unite for Him passport. We treat men as well.
All right.
The organization seems like it's there's a need for it.
Comprehensive.
Right, there's a need for it. And continuing to bring awareness to it is just very, very important. And we thank you so much for just being here and letting people know about this resource, this organization, because I didn't hear about it.
Right.
Until I saw you were coming on the show. I'm like, wow, this is such a tremendous organization to offer this to. Isn't it just for Delawareans or for people outside the state, the tri-state area?
Yeah, so we are actually national.
Wow.
We're very blessed to be able to shift our, whole model to go over the nation. We serve over 5,000. But in the Wilmington and the Delaware area, we have concentrated grants that we are focusing on over 300 individuals right in Delaware. So it's important for us, that before we had that grant, we were getting about 40 that we were, because we're headquarters in Westchester.
Right.
That's our headquarters. So we got about 40 from Christiana, or people who knew about us, crossing over the border. But now, because people are investing in us in Delaware, we can lean in and really get to those services to the community.
Excellent.
There's about 1,100 that are diagnosed in the state of Delaware. We are now serving this year alone 300 of them, and we want to continue. And we want to make sure that we don't turn anyone away. And just being able to be here and have awareness and people get to know who Unite for Her is so important, and I thank you for that. It speaks volumes, to your commitment to the community as well.
Well, thank you for being brave to speak on your story
Yeah.
and then do something about it to inspire others, and that's really important.
Yeah.
I commend you for that. So thank you for that.
I know. It's always been about access, I think about when I was diagnosed, it was in 2004, and I was at an event at the Art Museum steps, and there was like this woman that I saw out of the corner of my eye, and I'm finally doing better, right? I did all of these treatments. I had access and could afford to do acupuncture and yoga and whole food nutrition, and I wanted to share all of these resources with her. So I went over to her, and I shared, and she cried. She said, oh, good for you. I could never afford that.
Wow.
And that was the day that I was like, okay, those 8 words opened my eyes to know that, healthcare is not equal. Shame on me. I'm thinking everyone could dive into this, right? Now all of a sudden it lit a fire. How do I start a nonprofit? How can I raise funds? How can we get this to everyone? And we just started, one woman at a time, one program at a time, and now expanding across the nation. So, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have a team around me that is dynamic, my team, that can help us, move mountains. And in Delaware, we are doing that with such a strong community that is behind us. So we thank you today for just telling people about us.
And it's definitely our pleasure. when someone's out there watching right now, right, that is dealing with breast cancer, ovarian cancer, mental health, what personal message would you give them right now?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Reach out. Don't feel like you have to do it alone. There's a lot of us that feel like, I'm strong, I got it. I can handle it on my own issue. There is so much to learn from other individuals, you know, and no one way is the right way to deal with a diagnosis. Some people are going to be like, yeah, great, I'm going to run this 5K, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fight it. And then you have others that are like crawled up in a ball and on a couch. They're both right. They are both the right way that you deal. Everybody has a different circumstance, but when you share or you lean into organizations like Unite for Her and some other ones that are out there, you get access to resources, you get access to knowledge, you can pick and choose what you want to use. But knowing that all of it is financially suited, like all set up for you, there's no financial burden for you, it takes that away, right? That there's no strings attached, that you're going to learn how to mitigate side effects and symptoms without more drugs and prescriptions.
Right.
So reach out, share your story. It doesn't mean that you have to share it with neighbors or friends, or share with nonprofits that can actually help you get resources that you need. Yeah.
Do you have a social media or what?
We do.
I know you have the website, so share that with us.
Yeah, uniteforher.org, and then our social media is Facebook and Instagram, and that's Unite for Her, the number 4. So please follow us. It's very, very lively and talks about all the services that we have. But yeah, and an easy way to get in touch with us for anything that you need is info@uniteforher.org.
Love
and
it.
That way we can route it to the right person.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm again, thank you for doing what you do, because a lot of people don't go through something and come back and help out.
Yeah.
But for you to understand your privilege and then see someone like, wait a minute, hold on, and then jump in to help. And now that there are thousands of women and men and our brothers and sisters that identify as them or whatever that is, they're saying someone out here cares. Someone out here is helping. And let's talk about that part too, because there is a community that and you have a part of the branch that assists them.
You got it. Their care box, Unite for Them. We are very mindful. We have an advisor that actually helps us understand that sense of belonging and that we are a place for everyone, right? And please know that your care box is going to be gender neutral. It's going to listen to you, understand the pronouns. We want to make sure that we are a community that's loving and embracing and not feeling that you are not being heard or seen and cared for. And we work hard on that every day and make sure we have advisors to teach us to know, how to embrace and lean into this community. So we have a Unite for Her is where Unite for Her started. Her is actually an acronym. It's helping to empower and restore. But breast cancer was, right? It's female oriented. Now all of a sudden you have Unite for Him. We understood that, so we started rolling our pronouns and Unite for Them, understanding that our non-gender community, we love and embrace them, and we don't want them to feel like there is not a place where they can be heard and seen and valued.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How often should women get tested for breast cancer?
Yeah, so that is, we have a whole segment and ask the experts on this because it varies. It really does. Our young women are getting diagnosed. I was diagnosed at a young woman, but if you look at the standard, you're looking at 40 years old. You're going to go get a mammogram, and maybe it's every 2 years. But that's not the case if you have a family member like myself or my daughter now has to get scanned 10 years before I was diagnosed, right? She has to make sure that she's listening to and watching her signs and watching her body just because of my history. Everyone has a little bit of a different history that you want to be familiar with. Our Black and brown community, they want to make sure that they're looking at their breasts differently. Their breasts are denser, 6 times denser than the average white woman.
Okay.
That is hard to pick up on a mammogram. So for them to understand, to actually do their self-exams, to be proactive, if they have any type of family members that are diagnosed, to tell their doctor that they want to get scanned earlier than what the standard may be. The good thing about the cancer community that's happening in the medical community is that we have targeted treatments now, and that's moving in such a good direction. It's targeting different types of cancers, but those different types of cancers also warrant different reasoning on why you want to get scanned at different times. So thinking about your family members, thinking about your dense breasts if you have them, what does that mean? I didn't even know what that meant, and I'm in the industry,
Right.
and to be able to get educated, get on our Ask the Experts, learn about that. We just did a segment on this because it's not just this cut and dry. 40 years old, I was diagnosed at 39, right? Like, it's not that, you wait for that time. You're always feeling and understanding your breast, doing self-exams, but know your family history. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, right? A lot of our community members say that, like, nobody told me that my mother sister had breast cancer, and here I should be watching for this. So talk to your family about it. Make sure that you're asking for your your auntie and your mother, and finding out what their history is, so that you can do the best job in getting tested.
Love it. You have, I'm going through your website,
Yeah.
and you have 2 events that's going on this week.
We have a lot of
Yeah, right. Yeah, look, I'm seeing like January is jam-packed
we
with
do.
stuff. This event on Wednesday from 5 to 6, it's a virtual hangout, cooking methods 101.
We do. So this is our dynamic registered dietitian team, who are incredible, and they go through and they just talk about, how to do whole food cooking. Some people don't know how to roast and bake, and just the way that you're cutting your food, but it's all for just better access to good quality food. So these are the dietitians. All 4 of them are going to be on. One
Okay.
of them is a Latino woman who actually works with our Spanish community. We do have a full Spanish program as well, and we're going to go on and just talk about food and how to prepare it. And food is joyful. Food is joyful,
Food
right?
is
We talk about
And-
that all the time. Yeah.
yeah,
Food
and
is
it's
definitely
community,
joyful.
right? And it brings people together. So
does.
we're
It
very
unites
excited.
people.
I'm hosting that for our
yeah.
dietitian team, but they'll be in their kitchens all around virtually, right? Thank goodness for Zoom. And they'll be showing different ways to prepare different,
Yeah.
plant-based food.
How fun.
But we do this, like, we have 48 live cooking demos that we do a year, and they're fun, and they talk about food for thought moments and how it can help with metallic taste in your mouth or digestive issues, and how food is medicine.
I love it.
Thanks for calling that out. So
Ah.
we have a lot. We have our Ask the Experts speaker series
On
Food for
Thursday.
Thought. We do.
On Thursday, it's her
You got
speaker
that
series.
You got that calendar up.
Yeah, this calendar. Look, if you go to uniteforher.org
You got it.
and go to events, and you're going to be blown away with all the events that they have going on. We have to get you guys into the kitchen over at our Lancaster studio.
We would love, and our team.
Yeah,
they are
let's talk about that.
incredible.
We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would, before we wrap up, that you like to tell the world?
The world. Thank you for having us.
Thank
We
you for being
appreciate
here.
you.
Thank you for what you're doing in
Community
the
is
community.
important,
Yeah.
right? And the
It is.
more that we all talk about, the care that is needed, integrative care helps cancer patients do better. There's data behind it. There's metrics behind it. That is important for us to be able to share. If you go on our website under uniteforher.org, SABCS, you'll see that we have a data and posters that we've done on the metrics on how our women are taking less drugs and prescriptions. 28% of them are surveyed saying that. They're able to mitigate their side effects and symptoms better. 94% saying they have better quality of life. They're able to adhere to treatment better. Data talks. So know that this isn't just a feel good to
Yeah.
get acupuncture,
Yeah.
counseling, yoga, nutrition. It is whole patient care. And when we add that to the medical community, then you end up having a better result, better outcomes.
I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you again so much for
Yes,
coming.
Thank you
you.
so
You're
much.
welcome.
And thank you
My
for
pleasure.
spreading the message
Yeah.
and sharing your story. And
You're
we wish you
welcome.
continued success.
Thank you.
All
Honored
right.
to be here.
Thanks again.
You got it.
All right, there you go. Vincenzo, what you think?
Always learning. I love this. And I love that we're able to give so many incredible, influential leaders an opportunity to share their story. And I think that's what's most powerful.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Make sure you go to uniteforher.org. Check it out. If you're a woman or man that needs some help, and I don't even like to use the word help. I like to use the word assistance. Make sure you check it out. Go to the events page because it's popping, and then get all the information. If you have anything, they have a contact us button on the website, so you can definitely talk one-on-one with someone. All right, we'll be right back after this message. Quick message from one of our sponsors, and when we get back, Michelle Finance of Multiplying Good is on the plaza telling how she and her organization is making Delaware a better place.